former owner partner locally here in one of the CrossFit gyms, Winter Park CrossFit. He's still obviously highly involved. He's always talking about him getting that business over there. His protein is in that gym, amongst others in the area. So, how are you doing today, Jack? Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
That I miss you guys, man.
Yeah, man. We miss wrestling too, bad. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, Cade, his son, and my son are both at Central Florida Wrestling Academy over there in by Lake Highland Prep, and they wrestle together. So we've become friends over the time they've been there. And yeah, we're definitely missing the gym, man. Missing seeing the kids wrestle, missing the mats, the room, the sound, just the camaraderie. That's
Yep, definitely. Can you hear me okay?
yeah.
Okay, good.
So it sounds like you guys are missing it as well, huh?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean, even though Cade had a couple of setbacks this year and, went through on March 12th, had to go through surgery on his hip, some arthroscopic surgery, outpatient. He's recovering way faster than we thought he would, and being kind of confined and stuck at the house, I think has helped that progress.
Yeah, well, if people could see what he looks like, they would understand. He's like cut out of concrete. So kid keeps himself in good shape. So tell us a little bit about Ascent.
Yeah, so would love to. Ascent Protein is the company that I work for. Tons of passion around health and fitness. I always have. But yeah, so Ascent Protein is part of Leprino Foods. So that's the parent company. Leprino, and I'll tell you a little bit about them first because it's pretty important to understand, where protein comes from and, who's producing it. So, Leprino Foods was started in 1950 as a corner Italian grocery store in Denver, Colorado. And today, the headquarters is still in that location. However, instead of just a corner store, it's about an entire block. But
definitely grown, huh?
Yeah, they've grown a lot. So today, we're the largest mozzarella cheese manufacturer in the world. We're also the number one producer of whey and lactose in the United States. So we supply 4 of the largest infant formula producers, companies like Abbott Labs and Nestle that are producing products like Similac and Isomil and things like that you see in grocery stores. In addition to that, we also supply 9 of the top 10 U.S. sports nutrition brands on the market today, U.S. brands.
Wow, awesome.
So we've been extracting proteins from milk for 30 years. It's something that we know how to do and do well. The company's got over 5,000 employees and also 9 production plants that are all in the United States. So we've been B2B since 1950. So we've only been, working with other large companies and businesses. After about 5.5 years of development in 2016, we launched Ascent Protein, our first B2C company. So first time we've ever gone direct to consumer with a product. So that's kind of the background on our company and Ascent.
Yeah, and I know that I follow you. Obviously, I'm at the gyms when you're there, so I see your product. And I see you guys have come out with water now, different juices I see you drinking there. And before we get into kind of how COVID-19 has affected your business, what would you say, there are some people that are on the fence, like, should I do protein? Should I not do protein? And there are some people that kind of say, hey, is it right for my kid? Is it right for the age they are? Is it right for the sport they're in? What would you advise them?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great question. It's a question that comes up to myself and my team on a pretty regular basis. I
think I even asked you when I was getting it for Daniel.
I think one of my teammates probably said it best. You're gonna you're going to hear about people that are following low carb diets. You're going to hear of people following low fat diets. Have you ever heard of anybody following a low protein diet?
No.
Okay.
Even in the no carb diet, it's all protein.
Correct. So just to give some perspective, if you're a 200-pound man and you're training 3 to 5 times a week, doing something, the all-in athlete, is what we like to call it, someone that's going out there and getting their heart rate up and doing some sort of exercise. It really doesn't matter what it is. If you're a 200-pound man, you need anywhere from 90 to 100% of your body weight in grams of protein in a day. So it's not easy to do that with whole food all the time. Our company always pushes whole nutritious food first. But, if you can get a hold of the highest quality protein available on the market, 25 grams in one serving, and have a couple of shakes a day, it's going to help you get there. In order to get to 180 grams of protein for a large guy in a day, that's a lot of eating. And most people don't have time. They may have time right today because we're all confined at the house and people.
Yeah, but typically you don't.
Yeah, but typically you don't. Most people are out working and they're just not thinking about eating 6 times a day unless you're Tom Brady or somebody like that is having someone do it for you and your job is to stay in shape. So I guess, let's talk about kids, if you've got an athlete in the household and they're trying to gain lean muscle, they're trying to recover quickly, they're trying to recover better, and they're trying to meet their protein requirement, kids are going to have a hard time too, because they're in school, they're in training and everything else. And as long as they've got a high quality protein supplement, like our native whey protein, like Ascent Protein, they're going to be able to take that on a regular basis without any issues. Obviously infants and small, kids don't need nearly as much protein as an adult or an athlete teenager needs, but completely safe. And yeah, they should be taking it on a regular basis. We're around wrestlers.
Yeah.
If wrestlers aren't taking protein on a regular basis, they darn sure need to start. And the coaches that we surround ourselves with are some of the best in in the state of Florida, if not the country.
And they recommend it.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us how has this COVID situation or COVID-19 kind of affected your business right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, we went to market initially really targeting just the boutique type gyms. So your CrossFit gyms, your small franchise gyms that are localized, and going out and building those relationships and helping them with their retail, educating their clients and sampling and everything else. So, COVID has really changed that landscape a ton. And first, I'll have to say for us, our gym business is off. Our gym wholesale business is off about 70% because all of those gyms nationwide are unfortunately shuttered. Actually, all gyms are. So they're closed. However, what it's done to the consumer is it's put them in a position to buy in a different way. So with our gyms being closed, our retail gyms drove a lot of that business for us, but we also have always done business on Amazon with one wholesale distributor so that we can control the pricing. That way we take care of our gyms first. Also on our own website, ap.com, ascentprotein.com, as well as Whole Foods, for instance. So our gym business is probably off about 70% right now. However, our online or our e-com business and our retail business is up about 30%.
Well, that's good.
Correct. So it's offset it some. But as we continue to go a little further into this COVID crisis, we're starting to see, some changes there as well. Some changes in the landscape.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big company, and they've survived all this time. I'm sure they've had to pivot and shift during a lot of markets. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. I do see, and obviously when we're done, please post all your information in the comment feed, share it on Ascent, share it in groups, whatever. And this way we can get people onto your website and buying from you. But I do see a lot of, I always see you posting like a lot of cool recipes and things that people can do while they're home and incorporate the protein. I know some people are like, well, I don't like the taste or the texture or the powder, but I'm seeing you guys make like banana bread and different dishes and all sorts of cool stuff with it that you can still get your protein through eating it, I guess, with your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got products, when all of your products that you offer are zero artificial ingredients, they deliver 25 grams per serving, and they taste good. You can put them into a recipe and come up with some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, we push that out, on a consistent basis. Right now we push it out a lot because people are home and they've got time to try some of those recipes, and it's fun. It's fun for some people.
Yeah, and obviously, I think you talked about it a little bit, the health of kind of your gym landscape, your big boxes, your franchises, your boutique gyms. It sounds like the health of that market right now is off, obviously being closed.
It is, yeah. So I mean, you're seeing different things when you look at when you look at big box. Um, for example, like an LA Fitness, that's what I would consider big box. LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness, gyms like that. You know what? They're still charging their memberships.
That's
They
crazy.
haven't stopped. There's not a ton of creativity so far that I've seen. Maybe they'll do something. I don't know.
And they're closed, so they're charging them, and they're closed, so it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time, a lot of those are a lesser expensive cost per month to a family than some of the other franchises that are out there, and I'll hit that in a second. But they're still collecting, and because they're $24 a month per person, or some of them are even less than that, $10 a month. Most people forget that they're even being charged, or they don't pay any attention to it.
Just coming out.
Yeah, you look at some of the other franchises out there, and it's pretty cool to see what some of those have done. I'll say, Orange Theory comes to mind. They're the big one out there, and they have basically stopped charging a membership to all of their members, if I read that correctly. And what they've done in lieu of that during this period is said, you know what, don't we're not going to charge you the $140 a month that we normally charge you because we're closed and you're not getting coaching and whatnot. So what they've done is that in lieu of that, they're charging an online membership. I believe, I think I saw it was like $99, and now they get to go,
Virtual. Yeah,
online.
some local. I was talking to Ryan. He has the F45 gym in Lake Nona, and I really feel for him because he opened up, he finally launched it, and then a month later we're in this, right?
Yeah,
So he's kind of done the same. He froze all memberships, and if you are a member already, he's doing virtual, but he's not charging those members anything. He feels like we're in this together. So he said, look, I'm going to pause all memberships. We'll offer some virtual just to members only. And so he's still bringing kind of some help to the market.
yeah. What's pretty cool about the boutique gyms, and I think that they, have had the biggest struggle probably because there's really no blueprint on how to run a lot of those businesses.
During a pandemic, I don't think anybody has that, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, I mean, it kind of, it side slapped everybody, but you don't have a corporate entity saying, okay, with a bunch of really smart people saying, okay, here's what you're going to do in your franchise. And they give you a standard operating procedure to work by over this period of time. Some of the smaller boutique gyms, their run is just, the owner feels like however they want to run them. So, but
Yeah, Stephanie, right? Your old partner.
but what I've seen is they've gone virtual. They've kept their communities together, because the communities are typically a lot smaller. A lot of those boutique gyms, they don't have 600 to 5,000 members. They're more like 100 to 150 members. So it's a lot easier to keep that community get together, and they're doing super cool community stuff. They're having virtual happy hours where everyone grabs a glass of wine or a beer, and they chop it up like this, and you got all those people on the screen, and they're doing things like that. Or they're having a virtual workout where everyone grabs their computer or whatever, and they go into their own little garage or space in their house, and they work out together. So they're really keeping it together, and they're still getting that community feel, and the feel you're still getting your coaches.
Yeah, I'm working on. I know you had reached out for me, and Stephanie reached out, and we're working on getting her on too. Because besides what they're doing to stay in business, and besides the virtual aspect, I think a lot of people also have questions on how to adjust. For example, I'm a CrossFit person, and I've been going to CrossFit, but I don't have boxes in my gym. How do I do box jumps? What can I use to kind of improvise? Or I don't have a pull-up bar. Do I tie towels to like what kind of things can she advise, adjustments and stuff like that? So I think it'll be good to kind of see, because I'm sure people are trying to figure it out. You can see videos where people are tying their belt to a door and they're trying to figure it out.
I've seen some epic fails as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So who is obviously your target customer? We know gyms, but what is your target customer?
Yeah, I mean, so first I'll tell you, Ascent exists to naturally increase athletic performance. So if you take that statement, we consider our target customer the all-in athlete. The all-in athlete is you. The all-in athlete is me. Like I mentioned earlier, it's someone that's going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, and they care about their fitness. They care about their family's fitness, and they're about hard work. They're about no gimmicks. Going in and getting it done. They're about the right nutrition. I mentioned we push, healthy eating and nutrition first and foremost, and then Ascent Protein should be supplementary to what you're putting in your body on a daily basis. We consider our target customer, a true competitor, and that doesn't have to be a Tom Brady or a state champion wrestler. That can be a kid that just started wrestling last year, and
somebody who's not even really an athlete per se, but is big into health and just keeping himself. Maybe they don't play a sport, but they're into keeping themselves healthy and working out and just living life the right way.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, someone that cares about true food ingredients, which is what our products are. And then also, just healthy eating at home, someone that's educated on, what they should and shouldn't be doing, or wants to become educated. Not necessarily educated, but is looking for the education, because if they are, typically they're going to find products like ours on the market.
Well, and on your, what I notice is on the Ascent pages and things like that, there's a lot of information for people to kind of understand what they're doing, direction they're going, if it's right for them. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're saying, hey, we are the end all be all. They're saying, well, we have a product that works, and it may not be for you. It may be for you. Here's what we recommend. And you can actually go on the site and it'll guide you into the directions you need to go.
Yeah. Ton of good information on our site, as well as we've got a YouTube channel that's got tons of great information. It's got recipes. It's got, when and why to take casein.
Puppy's doing laps.
Oh yeah. Man. Oh yeah. Never when you have a puppy.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Good puppy, by the way, too. So.
Oh, hey, yeah. So what, I know that you do work with professional athletes, colleges, high schools, different organizations. Talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, so, all of our products are Inform Sport tested. or informed choice tested. So what that means is, all of our products go through a rigorous testing process to make sure that there's nothing in there that an athlete would pop positive for. So if you're going to work with an athlete, you have to have those certifications. So we're RBST free, we're gluten free, we're all the things that professional and high school and college athletes are looking for. So we recently, just prior to the start of this last NFL season, brought on Christian McCaffrey as one of our athletes. Obviously,
he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he's in pretty good shape, and the timing was impeccable. I mean, who would have known that this guy was gonna, have the year that he had? But yeah, impeccable. So yeah, we do work with some professional organizations where we can. A lot of pro organizations are locked into contracts. A lot of the Division I colleges are locked into contracts with either Coke or Pepsi. So products that they don't have, we're able to provide to them. So there's several professional athletes and organizations that we provide casein to. We have some that behind the scenes, buy our way as well, and they're taking that. And then we work with several private colleges, and then obviously, we work with some private institutions as far as high schools, private schools. Work with Coach Palazzo and his team. He's been providing Ascent Protein to his team for the last 2 years. And then also my son goes to Bishop Moore Catholic, so they're also providing, product.
He only had 8 state champions this year, right?
Yeah. Coach Palazzo knows what he's doing. Coach Kelly, they're a couple of the best coaches in the state and in the country. I'm so thankful that, my son gets to work with Coach Palazzo and the Lake Highland team off season. And then I'm, so thankful that we've got Coach Kelly over at Bishop Moore, and I know you probably feel the same with your son and the coaches that he gets to work with.
It's awesome. And I'll make sure to circulate this video and share it with people, as I know a lot of people are on Zooms themselves and live. So usually we'll get more kind of viewership as we circulate this, and then make sure that please you put all your information there so people know where to get your protein and where to get Ascent and what's available to them. That would be amazing. And I know that we'll have another conversation inside the wrestling room, discuss kind of what you recommend that way. Plus, obviously you are a trainer as well. Well, maybe you don't do it full time anymore, but you do know how to train those athletes from your days with Winter Park CrossFit. So I'm sure you'll have a lot of great information for them. And let's do it again, man, anytime. And if Cade wants to come on in the wrestling room and talk about the importance of, he obviously understands this. He's been traveling with you. I see him at all those competitions with you and stuff. So yeah, let me know anytime. I can send you the calendar.
Awesome, man. Love for him to be on with you. And I've enjoyed chopping it up, man. We get, it's fun being around your family for maybe a full straight week, but
yeah, it's 30 days now. Yeah, man, we're definitely adapting. The first, what do they say? It takes 14 days to make it a habit or something. So, the first 14 days were the toughest. But I think now that I kind of started this and virtual school started and we've kind of gotten into a system, it's going to be, I'm going to be happy to get out and get to the wrestling room again, but it's going to be tough to adjust back to that way of working. I've figured out a way to work here. So
I've traveled for 20 years of my life, probably every other week. Let's just say that. Being home for about 4 straight weeks now, whatever it is, I've lost count.
Yeah.
My family's ready for me to get out the door and get back to work.
The only way I've remembered what the days are is because I started doing these. If I didn't start doing these, I wouldn't know if it was Tuesday or Monday or Friday or Saturday.
I know, man. Craziness.
Well, tell Kate I said what's up, man, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Fun chopping it up. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.